Hey guys, got another video. I don't have cool music, so I'm gonna talk here. But basically, it's a really cool video. I got a job and I flew in a plane. Let's go! So last time I talked to you, I was looking for a job still, right? And after about over a month, but for all intensive purposes, a month of looking for a job, I finally found one. A drum roll, please. Melton Truck Lines. That's where I got my job at. So far, so I called him one day last week, or I filled out an application for him last week, and it was really short at the end of the application. It was like, hey, to fast track your process, call this number. So I called the number, and a lady answered the phone. I believe her name was Cheryl. And she kind of went over the normal application stuff that you do for a truck job. So it's like your last 10 years employment history. And so we went over that and like some medical stuff like that. And then she put me on with a recruiter. His name's Brian. Really cool dude, Brian, if you're watching. Brian, if you're watching this, bro, you're pretty cool. Okay. But yeah, so she put me on with Brian. And he kind of went over, make sure all the information was correct, and kind of talked to me about my position and stuff. And so my position will be, I believe it's the Eastern Fleet is what it's called. Correct me if I'm wrong, if you know. I'm not talking to an actual, like I am, but like I'm not. It's kind of weird still, but we're getting there. So I think it's called the Eastern Fleet. Which, what I wanted a job that I was home weekly. With this job, I'm going to be home every other week. I work 2 weeks, then I get a weekend off, or I get 2 days off. I'm assuming it's going to be a weekend, but I don't know for sure. But it's just the Eastern and Central time zones. And since I live in Arkansas, I'll be able to, he said that at least once a week, there's like a 95% chance that once a week, I'll be able to take my 10-hour break at home, which will be nice. But he said that that I'd be able to take my 10-hour break at home, and that I would still get. He said normally you can do that. He said very rarely will you not be able to, but at the very least I'll be home every 2 weeks. But the first part of it is training in Tulsa. It's 2 weeks training in Tulsa, and then I have 3 weeks of over-the-road training with a trainer. And so I'm going to be gone for 5 weeks. And to get to Tulsa, they're like, you can rent a car or you can fly. I flew. I should have rented a car. I could have taken a bus, but that just sounds like a pain. But yeah, if I rented a car, I could have picked it up at the Little Rock Airport, driven to Tulsa, dropped it off at the airport, gotten in a shuttle, and come to my hotel. But I chose to fly. And in doing so, I flew from Little Rock to Dallas, and I was supposed to have a 54-minute layover in Dallas, and then get on a plane and fly to Tulsa. That's not what happened. This is what happened. I got to Little Rock like about 2.5 hours before my flight. Because I haven't flown in years, so I don't know what, especially with all the COVID bullcrap going on. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. So I got there early so that I'd have time. And I got my check-in bag. I got it with the little sticker thingy, that goes on it. The flight tag, I think is what it's called, or something like that. And I got checked in, weighed, it was 25.5 pounds, has to be under 50 pounds. So I was like, yo! Got that flown out, or got that put on the plane. And then I waited for like an hour and a half. Well, I went through security. It was boring. Then I got in the terminal. I was Terminal 1, and I had like an hour and a half till boarding started. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go get some food. So I was gonna go to Chick-fil-A, right? It was Sunday. Chick-fil-A was closed. I got there and I was really sad. So I was like, okay, there's a Burger King. I'm gonna go to Burger King. It was card only, and I had no money on my card. I had cash, but I had no money in my card. So I was like, oh, I'm sad now. So I went across the little hallway, and there was it was like a convenience store type thing. And so I was like, it's the airport, so it's gonna be marked up. It's not gonna be that bad. So I got a bottle of Dr. Pepper, some meat sticks. They're like Slim Jims, but they looked healthier, but they're more greasy. But they tasted better, so I don't know. This was weird. And I got an Almond Joy, because Almond Joys are just good. And, 3 items, not that much. It was $13. I mean, granted, the meat stick things were like, there's like 6 of them in there. So, I mean, it's kind of worth it, but really not worth it. But yeah, so I got that. And I went over to the terminal. I just sat there, ate my food, and drank my drink. And the flight started boarding. And I was in group 8 out of 8 groups. And so it took a while. Everyone got on, and then I got on. And I didn't get to pick my seat. And so I was sitting right beside this other girl, and she had the window seat. I had the aisle seat. And like, she wasn't fat, but she was too big for the seats, because the seats are tiny. I'm too big for the seats. And the arm didn't go up, like, on the aisle. And so I was just like, all crushed in there, right? For about an hour. I was listening to a little podcast, but I had a little headache too, so it wasn't very fun. But the people brought me some cookies, so that made it better. And then the flight ended, and I had to pee really bad. And I had to get to my terminal, which was, I don't know if you're familiar with the Dallas airport, but I was in E, and I had to get to A. And they got this little train thingy, and so I didn't know how to get to it. And so I was just walking around trying to, like, I had like 30 to 40 minutes till it left, but it didn't feel like that. And so I just like walking like, where's the train? And I saw this thing, it was like Skytram or some crap like that, I don't know. I was like, that's where I need to be. Voice crack. That's where I need to be. And so I took off. I didn't take off, but I started walking faster. And I got to it. And right when I got up there to it, it went away. I was like, oh. And then so I was trying to figure this thing out too, because it was like A and C on this side, B and D on this side. And I was like, what? And this old guy could tell I was confused, and he was like, if you need to go to A or C, get on that one. If you need to go to B or D, get on that one. I'm gonna get on that one. I was like, okay, cool, I need to get on that one. And so I waited like, it was like 30 to 45 seconds, and another one came. I was like, bet. So I hopped on that thing, and we went through like a bunch of stops, and we got to mine, the A. I'd be at gate A22, and it was A22 to A39, and I was like, that's where I need to be. So I got off, and I saw where I needed to be. I was like, bet. I'm gonna go pee though. So I ran to the bathroom with Tinkle, then I ran over, and I was looking, trying to see, because there's like a little TV that says what group they let in. And I was looking to see if I was on group 8 at this one too, and it was 9 groups. And I was looking to see what thing it was, and the lady saw me looking, and she was like, we're letting everyone on, come on. I was like, okay, bet. So I gave him my ticket, and I went and sat down, or I gave him a ticket, got on the plane. And this one had 3 rows on each side instead of 2. And there was the window seat, which was open, my seat, which was in the middle, and then a lady. And I don't want to be mean because I'm big, but she was kind of big too. And I was like, oh, okay. And so I put my thing in the compartment, my carry-on bag in the overhead compartment. And she got up, and I sat in the middle, and then she sat down. And I was waiting for the person in the window to come. Every time someone would come, I was like, oh, they're going to sit here. And they keep walking, or they'd go back and sit in the front, like, oh. And they said the final doors are closing. You know, and I was like, okay. And I was watching the last of the people come that were like, that had gotten in, were like, it's long plane. I was watching them, and no one came and sat there. So I was like, ma'am, I'm sure you're a lovely lady, but I think we'll both have more room if I sit over here. So I'm gonna sit over here. And so I did that. And that's how I got that cool time lapse that's at the beginning, because that's the window seat. And yeah, the like stereotypical time lapse that everyone does on YouTube. I got one too now. But so I sat there, and I mean, this flight was very uneventful. I just listened to my podcast, looked out the window. My arm got really warm because we were flying north, and I was on the left side of the plane. So the sun, and it was like it was like 5, it was 6 something, and so the sun was like, whoosh, and I was like, but yeah, it was really hot, and so I shut the window, and it was really dark in there, and they had like these blue lights up top. It was kind of weird. I don't know, but it's kind of cool too. And then we landed, and I opened up my my cell phone because I could use my cell phone again. And the first notification I got was from American Airlines, who I flew with. And I was like, okay, let's see what this says. And it says that my bag has been delayed, and it did not arrive to Tulsa. And I was like, well, this is fun. And so there's the things I could check the bag, and it said that it was still in Dallas. And I was like, okay. And it had this little link that I could fill out where I wanted it delivered from when it got here, because evidently it wasn't going to take long. So I was like, okay. So I called my hotel. They sent a shuttle. Got in the shuttle, got to the hotel, grabbed a business card with the address, and I typed in the address that it needed to get sent to and everything. And it showed that it got loaded onto the new plane at about 7:45. About the time that I landed in Tulsa, it got loaded in Dallas. And so I was like, okay, so it'll probably leave around 8, right? And so it'll probably land around 9. So I should be able to get like 9:30, maybe 10, maybe a little bit later, but not much, right? 9 o'clock, I call American Airlines to be able to confirm that like I would get it that night, right? And I'm on hold for about 5 minutes, and the little robot voice comes on, and it's all like, if you want to remain on the call list, but you don't want to sit on hold, hit 1, and we'll call you back at our next available convenience. And I was like, I don't want to be on hold, so I'm gonna do that. So I hit 1. They had me confirm my phone number, and then they had me like, the thing where you like say your name, like you say words into it, and like knows what you do, the little robot bullcrap. I did that for my name, and it was like, okay, bet. Hit any button to hang up. I hit the red one because I wanted to hang up. So I hung up, and I was like, I need to go to sleep. I got to get up at 4 a.m. And so this was about 9:15. I laid down in my bed. I tossed and turned and tossed and turned and tossed and turned. About 11:30, I finally was like, okay, I'm tired now. I started drifting off to sleep slowly but surely. But I think about 11, it probably took about 10 minutes, I was out. 11:40, I was out, right? 11:40, I think it was 11:45 or so. My phone starts going off, and I thought it was my alarm at first. I was like, oh, it's already 4 o'clock. No, American Airlines called me then. And I was like, what the heck? So I answered it. I was still on hold. So I was like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm going to bed. So I hung up, and I put my phone down. And then about 10 minutes later, I was almost asleep again. They called me again. I was on hold again, so I hung it up again. And I was mad at this point, and I fell asleep. And I woke up at 4. And so I had about 3.5 to 4 hours of sleep. But I felt pretty good today. I had a little headache for a little bit. But I think that was just because I was dehydrated, because I wasn't drinking enough water. But I woke up, I made some coffee in the bathroom. They got a little coffee maker and a little coffee. So I made some coffee, took a shower. And as far as my clothes, I still didn't have my bag. Well, yeah, I still didn't have my bag. And so I had put my jeans and my shirt in the fridge. There's a reason. I heard that if you have jeans, they're like stinky, and but they aren't like gross. They're just sweaty. You can put them, if you freeze them for 24 hours, then they come out and they're like, it kills all the germs, whatever. And I was like, well, I have about 10 hours. No, I did this at about 10 o'clock. So I got about 6 hours, and I got a fridge. So I took my jeans off, put them in the fridge. Same with my shirt, just to see what happens. Pulled them out. They were cold, but they warmed up pretty quick. And they didn't smell too bad. And so I was like, bet. And I had my socks on the air conditioner to kind of dry them off. But my underwear, I mean, I probably shouldn't say this on YouTube. It's kind of weird, but yeah. So I wasn't comfortable. Like, I took a shower and I wasn't comfortable, but like, what can you do, you know? I didn't have my bags and stuff. I also didn't have deodorant or toothbrush and toothpaste because that was in my check-in bag. All I had was my carry-on. And so I went downstairs, had breakfast at about 5:30, yeah. And I was looking for the desk guy, and he wasn't there. I was like, what the heck? And so I came back up to my room, and I called, and I think he like lives in the hotel. It's cool. But I called, and he like super groggy voice, hello, and I asked him if a bag had been delivered, and he was like, no. I was like, and so there's a Quick Trip like a quarter of a mile from the hotel, so I went over there, and I got some toothpaste and a toothbrush and some deodorant, and I brushed my teeth. I put some deodorant on. It's that gross, like actually like that gel deodorant. I hate that stuff. I use the antiperspirant because I'm a real man. But I use that just to kind of make myself smell a little bit better. And I went throughout the day, and it was okay, but it wasn't great. But then about 1 or 2 or 3 or something like that, I don't know what time, some of those times, I got an email that my bag had been delivered to the hotel. So I was like, yes. So I called the hotel to confirm, and he was like, is it a red bag? And I was like, yes, sir. And he was like, it's here. And I was like, bet. And so we came back, and I got my bag, and I brought it upstairs. But then we had to go to Walmart. I had like 10 minutes to go to get downstairs to go to Walmart. So I went downstairs. We went to my bank. I got a temporary check so that I can get direct deposit set up. And then I put all the cash, because I still didn't have any money on my card. All I had was cash. So I took the cash, I put it on my card at the bank as well. And then we went to Walmart, and I bought like water and Arizona tea. This stuff right here is freaking amazing. And I bought some food to so I don't have to like go out and eat out. I can eat in here, which, you know, it is what it is. But you know, it is what it is. And so it's been like 80. It's so expensive here compared to Central Arkansas. But so I spent like about $83 on stuff that probably would have cost like 57. That's just a ballpark number, but it's a cool number. You know, 57, maybe 60, maybe 67. That's my number in football when I was in high school. But yeah, so I'm hoping that'll save me some money from eating out every night. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Training today was cool. I got my personal protection equipment, PPE. We had our physicals. I don't know if I said that already or not. It's kind of weird. And then that makes sense if I said the thing I think I said earlier, but if I didn't say it, that doesn't make much sense. This is like my 3rd time recording this because my phone kept on cutting off because I didn't have enough space. So I had to go in there and delete a bunch of random crap to get more space. I mean, I needed to get rid of that crap anyway. It's just dumb stuff. But yeah, so we did all that. We had an agility test. We had to stand on one leg for 30 seconds each leg, lift a tarp up, and lift a 35-pound tarp up, put it on the back of a flatbed trailer, then the 60 or 65-pound tarp, and then the either 80 or 90-pound tarp, something like that, put that on the trailer. We had to do it like with lifting with our legs, not our back, because that's a problem lots of people have. And then we had to climb up onto a ladder onto the flatbed truck, and then from the trailer onto the first piece of cargo, and then to the second piece of cargo and touch the container. and then come back down without doing it wrong. And then we like watched some videos, filled out some paperwork, came back. It was a pretty easy day. Tomorrow I don't have to get up till 5. Probably gonna get up at 4:30, get some stuff going early, but yeah. I'll see y'all. I'm trying to make videos daily. If I don't do it daily, then I'll do it not quite daily. We'll see what happens. Bye, guys.